morning, everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you. Boker Tov. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Friday, October 17th, 2025. What an honor to be present with all of you to learn some Torah on this, thank you, Penny, broadcast 1406. Emily, it's good to see you too. Susie, Michael, Ben, Bensi, Michelle, Boker Tov, Rabbi Shush, nice to see you. Hi, Kate. Hi, Cynthia. Good morning, friends. Let's see who else is here. We'll say a few more good mornings and we're going to begin learning some Torah as we get ready for Shabbat tonight. Neil, my friend, thank you for that sweet message. Love you too. Debbie, welcome. Sending love to you in Colorado. Minna, Shabbat Shalom. Hope that you are doing well. Let's see who else is here. Sing a bracha. Get ready to learn. Penny and Sandy, Jack, Amy, Karen, and Arlene. Boker Tov. Good to see you, friends. Hi, Dale. All right. Let's take a breath. Sing a bracha. Learn some Torah. And because one bracha is never enough, I was waiting for you for this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh bidvaro. All right, now I'm ready. First of all, a quick note, friends. I want to let you all know that I am so fortunate. After Shabbat, I will be leaving for Israel with a group of interfaith clergy partners from Long Island. UJA is partnering with the JCRC to bring some clergy to Israel on a mission that, of course, has now transformed. We'll see how the itinerary might change. We're leaving Saturday night, which means next week I will be broadcasting from Israel, which I'm so excited about. My hope is to broadcast at the same time, 9 o'clock New York time. But unfortunately, because I will be broadcasting using my phone, I won't be able to broadcast on Instagram. So it'll only be through, it'll only be on UJA's Facebook page. So I hope that some of our friends might be able to find their way there. And if not, I will miss you and look forward to learning Torah with you when I return. The beautiful, beautiful news is that next week is that mission. The week after that, I was asked to serve as a delegate to the World Zionist Congress. And so I will be in Israel for 2 weeks, actually. And so I will be returning to the Instagram broadcast in early November. But my plan is to broadcast every day, 9 o'clock on Facebook using my phone. So glad to see you here. Hope to see all of you there. And if I miss you on Instagram until early November, that's a long time, but I can't wait to share with you all the things that I'm looking forward to seeing. And that actually is a good way of beginning our conversation today. It's so interesting to think about how the world around us changes. I've been to Israel now 4 times since October 7th, and each time it was a different Israel that I saw. This time I cannot imagine. From the entrance hallway uh, at Ben Gurion Airport, which has had for a long time and does not have any more the faces of all the hostages. And even with our fight to bring back the 19 human beings who deserve a proper burial, it's a different moment. I said yesterday to the staff at UJA, not everything happened, but something happened. That will shift everything. I don't know what I'll see, and I'm excited. I'm excited to not know what I will see. That is this Torah portion. That is Breisheet. To not know what you're going to see with eyes made for wonder, to know that there is so much that we don't know. That's the first step of awareness. And when we were in the garden, everything provided for us. That's not that's not being human. I mean it is, it's being a baby. To have everything you need taken care of. To not make any decisions. So what was it? What was it that changed everything? I could be asking about our moment or the Torah's first. And some of you will appreciate, I actually decided for the first time in a long time to refer back to our book. For those who don't know, after the first year of this broadcast, I worked with rabbinical students from many, many different rabbinical schools to codify, to put into book form some of our learning called A Year of Torah. You can see the cover here. And so every once in a while, I turn back to it and I say, "Wow, that was then." But there are essences that remain true. Here's a very famous midrash because we don't know really what the fruit of the apple of the tree of life was. Images that painters have made and midrash have included makes it sound like it's an apple, but it's not. Here's a text straight out of the Talmud, out of Masechet Brachot, that debates what the fruit was. So Rabbi Meir says it was a vine, meaning it was grapes. As nothing brings wailing and trouble upon people, even today, more than wine, as it says regarding Noach, that didn't go well with wine. So Rabbi Meir says that it is wine. That's what brought, quote, knowledge. Rabbi Nehemiah says it was a fig tree, as that was the object with which they were corrupted and sinned. That's how they were rehabilitated. Because if you remember, when they realized that they weren't wearing clothing, which, by the way, they didn't know that they were naked before. They were naked, but they didn't know it, which means awareness. And in this context, there was some shame involved there. So they sewed together fig leaves, and that was the clothing that they wore. So the other idea, excuse me, is that it's fig. So one idea is that it's wine, because that's what changed. They lost their minds. Another idea is that it was figs, because the fig tree covered them in their nakedness. The third opinion. Rabbi Yehuda says it was wheat. As even today, a child does not know how to call to their parents until after reaching the stage of tasting grain. So I want to hold that for a moment with you. It's a fascinating debate. Obviously, what the rabbis are doing when they're bringing in their interpretations is they're reflecting not just on the biblical verses, but on what does growth look like? What happens when we become more aware of the world around us? What we call developmental stages. Anyone who's a specialist in child development or adolescence or even being adult, if any of us really is. what does it mean to grow in our awareness? Well, maybe we could use these three suggestions as paradigms. Wine. And the way that the proof text is used means that wine corrupts, makes things worse. So when you are aware of the world, do you reach for something that obliterates your senses? God forbid. We do a lot of work to help people with addiction and recovery. In the Jewish community, it is as true as it is anywhere else. That's one kind of knowledge. It's too much. So wine would be what led them to be expelled from the garden. Another suggestion is figs. Why figs? Because the fig leaf that covers them. And certainly, body positivity is very important. Our bodies are beautiful. We're created in the image of God. All of us. All of us. But the idea that suddenly they were aware of nakedness. The Torah says nothing of shame, but the rabbis do. And so covering themselves with fig leaves would be another way of facing the world when you feel vulnerable, because I think that's a better way of understanding this than actually simple nakedness. Vulnerability comes with an awareness of the world. And so maybe that kind of knowledge, instead of obliterating your senses like wine, is to protect yourself with whatever you've got, in this case, a fig leaf. But think about the phrase, a fig leaf. It's not really a protection. Then is that third suggestion, wheat. And I remember reading this the first time, hearing that the tree of life was actually a stalk of wheat. First of all, what a radical rereading of text. And also, how amazing that the rabbis say, why wheat? Because a child only attains the stage where they can call out to their parents when they are old enough to eat wheat. Just think about that for a moment. Just think about that for a moment. Not in terms of parents in a literal sense, but reaching out for help, reaching out beyond. And calling out for help is actually a deep sense of wisdom. I can't do this alone. I need you. That's not covering myself over to protect myself with a fig leaf. It's not obliterating my mind. Isn't it beautiful to consider what it is to reach out for help, and that reaching out for help itself is a mark of wisdom? I would bless us with that kind of wisdom, to know that it's bigger than self. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. Isn't that awesome? Doesn't that give us the chance at attaining some wisdom? So friends, let's go into Shabbos together, because we need each other, and we are beautiful. I want to answer one question that just came in from Susie. Why would that be forbidden? There is a great way of looking at the Garden of Eden, which is that it makes no sense when you really look at it. If the Garden of Eden is meant to be paradise and we are meant to be in it for good, why would God have placed the tree there in the first place? You could say God doesn't know. You could say it's a test, but I think more likely, especially given the text and given who we are, images of God refracted in unique ways, I think our curiosity was also hardwired into the system. We were meant to see what it was to be alive but not fully human in the garden, and then we were meant to be fully alive. It might be more complicated that way, but I'd rather have my eyes open. So, Susie, good question. I don't know if my answer works for you, but I consider it a privilege to be in a world with others who are just doing our best. So, take an extra breath as we get ready for Shabbat. Take a sip of coffee after we're done if you'd like. I will too. I will see you when I'm in Israel next. And so I'm already kind of there in my heart. Let's send our hearts to the east and feel the love. Kol hod malevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia Olo avda tikvatenu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים. Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom, friends. See you on Monday.